Hi, this is Shri from Certifications Inc. In this introductory course on ITIL, we're going to talk about what is service management, specifically IT service management. At a high level, what do we mean by service management? Any organization, in order to provide services and deliver value to its customers, follows a set of processes, follows a set of principles, has a certain operational procedures that they follow to deliver value to the customer. So these values and principles together form the service management principles of an organization. Now, before we get into the weeds of service management and its definition, let's talk about IT service management and how IT has become part and parcel of our everyday lives. Whether you're booking a ticket online or buying things online or using your smartphone or accessing the ATM, IT is involved in every aspect of our lives. Sometimes we don't even recognize how much of an importance IT plays in our daily lives. Try switching off YouTube for a day and you might feel like you've lost a limb. And more so if you don't have Wi-Fi for a day. I think we all know how that day goes for us this day and age. So since IT can play such a vital role for general people that may not be even in IT, it affects the lives and livelihoods of most people for the most part, because our reliance to IT has increased so many folds. You can only imagine how much of an importance IT department has for a generic organization to be successful in the industry. For instance, whether it's finance or HR or customer service, logistics, every aspect that an organization touches upon is so critical and so important and influential that in order for it to be successful and competitive, its IT aspect also has to be pretty successful and performing really well, really efficiently and effectively. What do we mean by efficiently? By using time, money, and people in a most effective, efficient manner. What do we mean by effective? Effective as in to enable the organization to achieve its objective and meet its goals. So IT department is in a lot more pressure these days to deliver value to the customers while keeping its costs and balancing between the supply and demand and ensuring that the throughput goes through without any hassle. So the IT department has to provide value with minimal costs without compromising on quality. Service management can help IT organizations achieve exactly that. Now, before we get into the details of service management and what ITIL entails, let's talk about service being a central concept in all this, right? So when you have service that is provided, you have a service provider on one side that is enabling services for a customer. You have the customer on the other side. Now, what is IT service management? IT service management is how a service provider utilizes its organizational capabilities to provide value to the customer. IT service management enables an organization to pick its organizational capabilities, package them up, and provide value to the customer. Now, two things that are very important in terms of ITIL. ITIL's perspective to service management. One area is that value is co-created. Value is co-created. Let's say I as a customer need to deposit a check. Back in the day, I would take the check physically, go into a branch, make the deposit, or even in the later years, I might have to find an ATM near me and then go ahead and deposit. But these days, a lot of banks are enabling you to deposit your checks online using a mobile app. So from the customer's perspective, I'm responsible to have a smartphone, to have the app and maintain the latest version of the app and the operating system of my smartphone to ensure that it works seamlessly. And the bank has the responsibility to build the software and maintain it and ensure that it is securely available to me as a customer. So in that aspect, both the customer and the service provider are co-creating value because one can't survive without the other. And interestingly, this is a concept that is newly derived in ITIL version 4. Value creation was primarily the responsibility of service provider earlier, but now ITIL recognizes the importance and significance of the customer also having significant responsibility in value co-creation. The second aspect I wanted to mention is that while providing value, the service provider has the responsibility to ensure that the customer reaps that value without specific costs involved, as in it's bundled within the service itself. It's not that the daily operational costs of the service provider are borne by the customer. For example, the service provider's resource costs, staff costs are not allocated to each client. It's inbuilt within the costing of the service itself. So without worrying about specific costs, the customer is able to reap the benefits, and also all the risks are managed by the service provider. So the customer can achieve value that is co-created while eliminating specific costs and risks from the customer's perspective. So IT service management is even more important because IT forms the part and parcel of effective and efficient value proposition, and it can make or break how a business functions. For example, if you have a well-oiled machine and your service management principles are really up to the mark, then you can make very bold decisions like expanding your organization and expanding your services, having long-term vision. But on the other hand, if your service proposition, if your service management is not impressive, then even the survival might become very questionable for you as an organization. So, where you have the time, energy, and the ability to expand to greater heights. So IT service management is going to be critical and make a central part of any organization's success. And ITIL has become the de facto standard in defining the framework, the structure to enable organizations to deliver services successfully. In the upcoming chapters, we'll talk about why ITIL has become the most popular and coveted certification to hold to prove that you as an individual can be effective in providing services for the customer. And keep in mind that every company is a service-oriented company in one way, shape, or form. So an ITIL certification can be valuable to present yourself as someone who's capable to deliver value effectively and efficiently. And it also demonstrates that you're able to have the skill set and apply them to the success of any organization. So in the upcoming chapters, we'll talk more about IT and how it enables organizations and individuals to be very successful in delivering services.